away they go from the 1600 metre marker. Towards the inside, the King of Random, Palladium is right there. Great Values on the outside of runners. Then Ogilvy. Marshall, that is a little bit strong. And Highway 85's at the back of the field, 6 or 7 lengths off the leader. Palladium's rather strong back in that third position as Great Value goes along at a brisk gallop. In second is Ogilvy, and then comes Palladium. They're followed by Marshall, that. Then the King of Random. Highway 85's the trailer, racing about 6 lengths off the leader. Great Value is keen with those pacifiers on. Ogilvy is second. Palladium is also quite strong at the rail in third. Then Marshall, that, and they're followed by the King of Random. Highway 85's racing about 5 lengths off the leader. Great Value continues to lead it. Ogilvy is second. In third, Palladium at the rail. Marshall, that is on the outside. The King of Random and Highway 85. It's compact though. They've all got an even chance at the top of the lane. And it's Great Value, the leader. Ogilvy, Palladium between the two of them. Then the King of Random. Marshall, that is on the outside. Great Value still leads it. Marshall, that puts on pressure. Palladium between the two of them. It comes down to Marshall, that, and Palladium past the 200 metre marker. Marshall, that, and Palladium, there's nothing in it, and Marshall, that's just the leader. Palladium tries to fight back, but Marshall, that's going on. Marshall, that from Palladium, who tries to fight right back. It's getting close down to the line. Marshall, that won it. Palladium second, then Highway 85 and Great Value. Number 2, Marshall, that, the son of Fort Wood, Alistair Gordon for the Rat Race and Lummerscroll Stud. They end up winning it from number 1, Palladium, the hot favourites. Number 2, Marshall, that. It pays $8.40 and ends up winning it by about a head or so. Palladium will run into that second position. Third to Highway 85 and then Great Value. They went a very quick pace in the early stages, and Marshall, that, now records its second win from 5 outings. We'll take a look at that head-on shortly. Tote favourite was number 1. So here's Palladium, the red sleeves and cap in the middle of your picture. The right-hand side is Marshall, that, and they race wide apart. Marshall, that's the leader from Palladium, who tries to fight back, but Marshall, that continues to go, and Marshall, that ends up winning it by about a head or so. Until the running of race 6, back to the studio.
Marshall, that has certainly come through to win a good race here. It was a small field of 6 that went a post, and the son of Fort Wood in the Lummerscroll bred a son of Fort Wood for Mr. and Mrs. Rattray has come to win a really good race here, Alistair. I know that my pal Al was scratched because you're racing him in the Digans next week, but this horse has certainly put his hand up as a possible horse for the future.
Yes, Diz, I was very disappointed with his last run. But to be honest, it was nobody's fault. The horse next to him of Dennis Dryers that ran here tonight bumped into him at the start, and Sean Veal fell off. And this horse actually took off from front. It wasn't anything to do with Eric Ngwani's ride or anything, but he took off from front and he couldn't hold him. And obviously he ran a disappointing race as a result. Eric was suspended today, so he obviously couldn't ride it. But Warren came and rode him during the week and was very impressed with this horse. And this is a nice horse. And Warren's just got off and said he's a very immature horse mentally and physically. And he says you've got a really nice horse on your hand.
That's nice to hear, because all goes well for the future. And I mentioned the scratching of my pal Elder. Next week we'll see him in the Digans.
Yes, obviously we had him in that this race that was meant to have been run, I think, 10 days ago. Sure. And the race got abandoned, and then the next race, the race meeting got abandoned. Sure. And then I had him in here because I wasn't confident of getting a run in the Dingons. And I thought, well, if he doesn't get a run in the Dingons, let him take his chances here. But he got a run in the Dingons. We'd drawn 1. It's a very tough field, but you've got to take your chances when you get a run in a race like that. So that's great. But yeah, I'd like to thank Mike and Norma Rattray very much for their support, and also to Sally at Lummerscroll. Well done, and I don't think this horse will end up here.
Well played. Well done to yourself and your team as well.
Thanks, and thanks to my team, Nicolette and Kerry. They do all the work at home, and my staff. Without them, you can't stand in the winner's box.
Well done, Alistair.
Thank you.
Lovely. Alistair Gordon, the winning trainer, and maybe a horse to pencil in. This gentleman jumping off and saying he's still dumb and immature, so he's got a learning, maturing, and improving to come.
He's definitely, he came out a bit keen with me, and we spoke about it before the race with Gordon. And when I worked him at track, I felt he's also got to put to sleep straight away because he's got a devastating turn of foot. And he came out keen. I managed to get him behind. He didn't quite settle. He's still learning about that. His last run didn't go well, and he went to the front and he went a bit hard. So that's still in his mind. He's still got to recover from that and still learn how to switch him behind. But top of the straight, I saw Palladium in a pocket, and I thought, this was a turn of foot. I'm going to send him out early and let Palladium catch me, and thank God it worked for the good.
That's what I was going to touch on next. The plans seem to work out from you, because in these small fields you can often get caught napping, get caught wanting, things cannot go your way, but you gave this horse a super ride.
Yeah, thanks, Deez. It breaks down to how much pace was going to be in the race there. With Mapel L, the true front runner, not there, it made things a little bit more difficult, wondering who was going to go. But in my heart of hearts, I thought maybe Great Value would lead, Palladium will follow him. I end up behind Ogilvy, but it wasn't really a horse I wanted to be. I wanted a horse really that could pull me to the straight, but thank goodness he did. And when I set this horse alight, he quickened well. He was looking around all over down the straight. A couple of strides, I thought, Palladium's going to come back to me, but I kept his mind on the job and he won a good race.
I never ever mentioned this to you before, but I'm going to first compliment you before I even talk about your next ride. 52 kgs, Warren. I mean, you walk around 52. I mean, you must have a very, very healthy diet.
I wouldn't know so much, Deez. I think I just got a very fast metabolism. I've been very fortunate. I can ride just about any weight.
Sure.
50s I can make, I just don't have breakfast on the day. So I'm very fortunate. I managed to pick up a lot of rides like that. But just back to this horse, big thanks to Mr. Gordon. He phoned me up and asked me to please come feel him at track and ride him in the race. And I'm glad it worked out, and well done to Mr. Rattray as well.
Dawn Calling, have you been to Ashburton to work the horse?
Unfortunately not, Deez, but she's a small filly, the 6, probably a touch short for her, but she's classy, Deez, and if she's going to go on to win bigger races, she's got to win a race like this tonight.
Well done with this one.
Thanks very much.
Well done. Warren Kennedy on number 2, Marshall that. 2, 1, 5 and 4. That's the way they cross the line, race number 5.